All right, we're live. We are live on YouTube. We are YouTube live for the first time ever. Dun, 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 dun.
Milestone?
Dun, 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 dun. We are YouTube live.
Podcast restart.
I'm hitting the live option on the thing, and I see it's here, and that's how it looks. And comments are available.
This is a lot more faster than Facebook, though.
Yeah, this is a lot faster than Facebook. Yeah. How do we? Can we text Ron? Ron need to be on this shit. He was the main one complaining.
I can text him the link.
He know how to get to it allegedly because we didn't talk.
Yeah.
But I just didn't see. I want to make sure he's there because he's the whole reason that we're doing this. Because he was like, you got to keep the live component. Like you absolutely have to. You cannot do without the live component. And I was like, okay.
I just sent it to him.
All right. All right. So apparently I can't go to anything, but I can't leave. Okay. Well, we are here. We are live, and we're gonna figure this thing out.
As we go.
And we're back on Spotify and iTunes. All right. So Kickbackers, we're here, and we're at YouTube. YouTube, we're here. That looks crooked as fuck, but on here it doesn't. Well, it doesn't. That looks crooked too. That does look crooked. Okay, hold up. I was like, yeah, just looking at the phone looked crooked to the motherfucker. Like,
Something happened.
like, what the fuck is going on? Why it look like that? Why look at guys looking at us? It look funny.
Said, look, I ain't looking at it.
How does that look to y'all? Does it look still crooked?
Yeah, the phones look crooked.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, which way?
Go this way. It looked like this right now.
All right, keep it right there.
Yeah, okay, it's gonna take about 30 seconds.
Oh shit! Hold up.
These better equipment. We're doing a budget tonight. We're gonna work that shit out.
There we go.
Yeah, that's way better here.
Hold on real quick. This line up.
Yeah, he can line it up with the pole and shit. Okay, so now swing it down. Now, you see that big thing? No, don't touch the can. Yeah, that. That is.
What
how
are you saying?
move it from now
Yeah,
on.
but I'm sorry, I know that part.
Yeah,
But
so break
that's
it
only
down.
how you move when you're shifting this way. No?
Yeah, you the same device. So pull it down a little bit. Hold up. There's a screw here. We can loosen it up for you.
No, it didn't need to be loosened.
Okay.
I just didn't know what you were asking me to do. You like move it where?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to be clear about the handle. Yeah, that looks
That's better.
What else do we need to make? What changes need to be made? I think I'll take that.
It's better.
Yeah,
A lot.
yeah. I'll take that for the first YouTube. That looks fine. We'll get better and better. I see we got a couple people tuned in though. I'm excited about that. People actually came from Facebook to YouTube. We appreciate you. And it is quicker than Facebook.
It was like a 30-second delay on Facebook.
Yeah, this is like a 5-second delay. Maybe 9.3 seconds. I don't know how I figured that out. I just deduced it So, welcome to Kickback TV live from Atlanta, also known as the Black CNN, and the revolution will be televised. I'm Lou the Mayor, the Righteous Ratchet. If you throw it, I catch it. If you got it, I match it. Every Sunday at some point, we right back at it. Shout out to fantastic.
JB Frank, y'all, that gangster geek representing NWA, nerds with attitude. Welcome to YouTube. Happy Sunday, everybody. I'm excited. Thank y'all for tuning in. There's gonna be some changes, and we should probably start talking about that after we introduce our co-host.
Nothing long, nothing fancy. Just go with what everybody knows me, Ghostface.
You've heard his voice in the background many times. You've seen him on our Facebook and Instagram.
Quick visits. That's what I
Yeah,
do.
there it is. Yeah, I'm about to say
Welcome
something.
to our
And-
new milestone.
And we have Nicole down there who's going to be joining us at some point.
Yeah.
So basically, it's Kickback TV, live from Atlanta, like we said, and we're on YouTube now. So shout out to Spotify and iTunes listeners who have been patient as we went from Facebook, literally did a Facebook Live, told everybody to meet us at YouTube, and people on iTunes and Spotify had to sit through that. So let's get right into some of these topics. Well, I guess first we want to talk about what JB, how the week was.
Yeah. I mean,
Podcasting in general, and I guess
Yeah.
why we made the switch.
yeah, I mean, we need to. This is a switch for us, you know. So before we get into topics, we need to lay some
Yeah.
things out for y'all first. Bear with us, but like the show has been evolving over the years, and we said this on Facebook Live. We're gonna say it again, so bear with us. Now it's time to really take this to the next step and to the next level. And where we see that is through the podcast and through the YouTube broadcast. Real talk, y'all, point blank. YouTube and Google monetizes this shit. Facebook does not. So, you know, we got to be in a situation where we're making money off of this. And honestly, why would y'all be mad? You know, like, who wouldn't? You know,
Right, but we heard your complaints. We heard you guys saying we like the interactive portion. We like to be able to talk to you about the topics. We like that shit, and so we decided to try to find a way where we can give you the live component,
Mhm.
we can communicate
Mm-hmm.
and respond to you,
Right.
and also make some money. And monetizing the show, 4,500 views a week. The best way to monetize that is through YouTube, and not Facebook. And so that's why we're on YouTube, and of course Spotify and iTunes. And we in looking at different podcasts. I mean, we started this in April of 2012.
Yeah.
And,
7
yeah,
years.
and I've been doing internet radio or college radio before that. And of course, I was a rapper, so I was doing that. And this is a place where I always thought I would wind up at. I didn't know what capacity or how it would work. But I do want to shout us out to our horn a little bit, because we've had thousands of views, thousands of streams,
Right.
and we're 100% independent. We started on an internet radio show, internet radio station. The station wasn't doing what we thought they needed to do, so
Right.
we decided to do it on our own, and we fumbled through that, through Ustream, through YouTube, through Facebook, through Instagram, through Twitter, and we just found our way. There was no blueprint before us.
Right.
There was no show to watch. Like
Right.
right now, it's cool to have a hip hop podcast. Joe Budden has one. Nori has one. Rap Radar. But we were doing it 7 years ago. We were pioneers, and there was
Right.
no blueprint to follow.
Right.
Now we
Right.
see a blueprint, because some celebrities started doing it, and they were able to fast track.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that the way to monetize this is through YouTube,
Right.
iTunes, and Spotify.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and you know, we appreciate the viewers and the viewership that we have had on Facebook, but right, real talk, like if all y'all Facebook folk can join us over at YouTube, that's gonna be a huge step up for us. So I'm gonna ask for that directly. Like those of you who were with us on Facebook now and who are on YouTube, thank you. Tell all of them other folks about how fly the broadcast still is. Because there's a reason why you stuck with us. That reason is still here. We're still us. We're still doing what we do. Just join us on YouTube.
Thank you for that.
Facebook folk, just join us on YouTube and watch what happens. Watch how the show develops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you're listening on Spotify or iTunes and you're used to listening to the show and not seeing it, you can view it and go to YouTube and do a search for KickbackTV, one word, separate word, podcast. So first name, KickbackTV, second word, podcast. You do that search, you'll find us. Having said that, now let's get to the topics.
I think we gotta go with the top story of the week. For me personally, it's kind of a sports story new. But
Hey, Nicole is in the building. Nicole, introduce yourself, let the people know who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, and all that good stuff.
Hey guys, I'm Nicole. It's nice to meet y'all. Just hang with the crew. Always have the best times with them. Best guys you ever could know in your life.
Facts, especially me. I don't know about these two, but when they come to me, you like, yeah, hell yeah, best
You're
guy.
beautiful.
I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. So we're gonna bring up the topics, but first, JB, you already kind of hinted towards it, and that's Meek Mill's album. Meek Mill's album came out Friday. Not only is it an amazing album, but also it has an amazing verse from Jay-Z on it. So we may have the album of the year and the verse of the year, all that dropped on Friday, the last day of November. And when we say the year, January 1st, November 30th, that's a year, nigga. And I'm excited about it. I'm hyped about it. We're gonna talk about it. But JB, Meek is kind of he's talking about prison reform. He's giving people game. Like I said, this kind of CD is the kind of CD that makes you reevaluate some things and makes you kind of stick your chest out. Like you got rap CDs that make you want to party. You got rap CDs that make you depressed. You got rap CDs that make you want to sell drugs. You got rap CDs that make you want to just go fuck every girl in America. And you got rap CDs that make you want to get your shit together. Meek dropped the CD that made me want to get my shit together. And my shit damn near together already.
Yeah.
But he made me want to get it more together.
Yeah. I've heard the first 4 songs. I've heard the song with Jay-Z's verse on about 3 or 4 times just because of how that verse was impactful. But what I even detected in the first 4 songs was the balance, but at the same time, I felt like I was listening to Rocky music. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like everything was just, I mean, not to use a big word, but anthemic. You know,
Use your big words, Jimmy. The Harvard graduate. Use your big words. I'll explain it to Jimmy and Nick.
Like sometimes I'm gonna get a little geeky on y'all, you know. But the whole, like everything that I've heard, these first 4 songs were anthemic. You know, I talked about the song with Cardi on it, how that was like a little party tune. Like I was a little pleasantly surprised, but it was still anthemic. I still felt uplifted by that song. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the message behind the whole album, but it kind of pinpoints on that verse.
It definitely teaches you though. It
Yeah.
teaches you. It's like you're sitting in class and you're learning something, especially with Jay-Z, man. I've been listening to this guy for like years, and his verses like they taught me like on an economic level. He's been doing that for a while too.
Yeah.
You gotta
now-
listen to it. You see
Now, so the audience knows, how old are you?
it. I am 26.
I'm 42. So I've been listening to Jay-Z since he came out in 96. How old were you in 96?
4.
4.
So how do you, and how old were you in 96?
I was about to be born.
Okay, well, yeah. So
Youngest one here.
I want to get you guys' view on Jay-Z, before we break down his verse, on who Jay-Z is in our culture. Because I know that my view, seeing him in 90s, well, I saw him the Hawaiian Sophie days, which was the early 91. What are your guys' view of Jay-Z in our culture? Because his career is, damn near spans your entire life. So I want to see what your reaction to Jay-Z is, as opposed to me and JB,
Well, like I said,
who's 55.
Jesus, time flies with these ages, man. God.
I'm not 55.
He's 21.
That is false.
Really?
Once you hit 21, looking as good as him and young, you don't age anymore. It's like super young over here.
He's gonna be super hype. He's gonna be hype for the next 2 weeks. We ain't even be able to fit JB head on the show next week. This is gonna be part of his face. But moving
that's where we were
on.
going.
What? No, let's talk about how pretty JB is. The oldest nigga
First
sitting
he got
here.
Mr. Beautiful.
The oldest
Now
motherfucker
he got pretty.
He told you how old he was. I'm older than him. Let's just leave it at that. Let's just leave it.
I mean,
at
if I was single, I'd go after JB. If you still got it, you got it.
Okay, old guy. She's so nice.
Going back to
She's
the
the
topic.
nicest host we've ever had.
Going
that.
back
Keep
to
bringing
the
women
topic.
onto the show.
Jesus.
Keep bringing women onto the show.
Jesus, man.
Let's keep doing this.
Back to the topic.
Anyway, back to Jeremy.
Damn. All right. Back to the topic. He's always been like a teacher, man.
Not JB, Jay-Z.
Correction. Jay-Z.
My instructions will come later.
Bend over. Spread your cheeks. Oh, my bad. Those are my instructions. My bad. All right, Jeremy, take over the show. We're getting totally sidetracked.
And that's why we have been friends for 30 years.
All right.
Jeremy, save the show, please. Save the show,
Exactly what I was
Jeremy.
thinking.
Save the show.
Proud of you.
Before we get
Going back
canceled.
to the topic of this shit before we cast off some more.
Right.
What was perfect? You guys said it earlier. It's like he's saving the black culture. He's saving the black race. Like single-handedly with his music. And he's teaching you on how to do it also. For yourself also. Like on a financial standpoint of how to invest and keeping up with your history. That's what I get from him, man. That's why I've been listening to him nonstop for these so many years. Learned so much from that man.
No bullshit. Like the verse starts with, land of the free, with black people as slaves. You know what I'm saying? 3/5 of a man, I believe that was the phrase. Like, so we're starting with the beginning. We're 3/5 of a human being. And then he walks you through the process. And, I want to say something, because I'm going to correct Joe Budden podcast and a couple others that mess some stuff up. Before I get to that, I want to talk about this. He made the line about Kanye, where he said, red hats don't Michael and Prince me and Ye. They try to separate you when you have Michael and Prince's DNA. Now he's making, of course, a comparison between Jay-Z and Kanye's thing with feud comparison thing with Michael and Prince. And Prince, of course, was fuck the record labels, do our own thing, had slave on his face, and be independent. And Michael was the darling of the record labels up until he died. Which some people say that's why they killed him. I'm not going to go into that conspiracy theory right now, but clearly Jay-Z sees himself as Prince and sees Kanye as Michael Jackson. And he said, "Don't pit us against each other." He actually had to make a tweet where it was like, "Y'all didn't get what I meant. I meant don't pit my brothers against each other, no matter what our differences are," which is the Trump MAGA hat. We still brothers. Kanye actually responded to that tweet and said, "Watch the Throne Part 2." Like, are they gonna do some more shit together? And who knows if they will, even if they're really speaking. But I thought that it was very interesting that people heard that line and thought, "Oh, Jay-Z dissed Kanye," and then clearly was like, "Don't pit us against each other." Now he didn't mention the MAGA hat, which is an L that Kanye has to wear. Kanye gonna get past that L. Take this L, nigga. You gonna hold that forever. But Jay-Z's verse was bigger than just Kanye with a hat. It was, don't pit us against each other. Don't have us fighting. like y'all did with Michael and Prince.
Yeah, we can't go down a Kanye rabbit trail because that's another topic for discussion.
Wrong topic, that is.
What I will
Yeah.
say about
Yeah.
that was I appreciate the way you broke down that punchline because I caught bits and pieces of that, but not all of that. Having heard the punchline so many times at this point, and now hearing your explanation, it makes a lot more sense to me. That being said, you know, I don't know that the parallel there is so poignant because I don't know that Kanye has always been the Michael Jackson in that dichotomy. You know, because Jay-Z is the one who has met with Warren Buffett. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z is the one who has made all of these phenomenal corporate deals. And that's what Michael did and Prince didn't. So we gotta look at that dichotomy too. I think that's where that parallel happens. It's basically saying when you have two brothers who are literally at the top of the world, the last thing you're gonna do is separate us. I think that's where the metaphor really hits home. We can't be separating ourselves because of our own personal opinions. It's gotta be about making certain things happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that was kind of the point of that verse. Fuck that dumb shit. Let's keep it moving. Because we're all black. Money is only green in America.
Yeah, it was a crazy verse. I call it verse of the year. I'm calling it verse of the year. And let's see. Let me see something here. JB, let me see. Get some comment here. Let's see it. While I'm looking for that, I want you to go on here and make sure that where you posted that on the live, the link for YouTube is still in there.
Okay.
That's still in there. That is actually there. And actually inbox it to me on Facebook.
And don't mind this is gonna happen a lot.
Yeah, this
new
is
step today. So
Yeah.
we learn it as we go.
Well, now if you go to the Instagram page, your Instagram page, you have the link right there. They can just go to Instagram and find it that way too. That's all
Boom.
I did.
Okay, there you go.
and if you're go to if you're on Spotify or actually I'm gonna post this here because our Facebook viewers aren't watching anymore because they're not on YouTube. So let me tell them, go to our IG page, which is
All right. I just put it on Messenger for you. I'm about to post it in your timeline too.
good shit. Kickback TV at Kickback TV Show to watch live on YouTube.
All right, now I'll send your timeline.
Long tag winners. There.
One more time. One more time on both. Just to make sure it's there. That's that. Okay. Done.
Well, they like me on that mountain picture popping. They liking the fuck on that picture.
I think they liking the mountain. By the way,
Oh,
where
wow,
was
JB,
that?
that's what we doing?
That's Blood Mountain.
Blood Mountain in Georgia. Yeah. That was a hell of a trip. That was a lot of fun.
So
First it was a little bumpy though.
yeah, the first one with all that rain, we almost died. We had the kids with us. That shit was
Sleeping on the
crazy.
side of the mountain.
The
like-
fact how
like-
we knew it was
like
so
to-
bad was we were walking down and people was walking up and we're like, y'all spend the night here?
Yeah,
Like, yeah. We do realize how bad that storm was.
Oh, we realized it more than you motherfuckers. We was out there on the mountain in the storm. God damn it, we almost died. Shit, me and Jeremy tent was on a slope.
Yeah.
Like I shit could have slid off at any freaking
Sliding
moment.
down.
I was making them look like scooching up, like oh my god, like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna sleep.
You would have
Yeah.
slipped. You would have slipped. far down that mountain.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
bad. I had to watch the top of the tent the whole night to make sure that it didn't start.
You had a rough. You had a rough too.
Yeah.
Jesus, you had no top.
You
Not
get,
rain
yeah,
was just coming in.
you know, top. You had to get your tarp from under the tent and put it on top of the tent.
In the middle of the storm.
So you and your kids wouldn't get. Wow, yeah. It was real. It was real. But I'm liking the outdoorsy life. Like now, I'm like, okay, I can do some outdoorsy shit. Like.
Honestly, bro, nigga, shit, that'll happen sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta be ready. Like, we were ready for that. So that's why we survived. And that's what it is. It's really that simple.
You already made enough investments on that too. So definitely.
Yeah, and all right, well, let's get to the next topic. So Meek Mill's album is a great album. You should get it. Jay-Z's verse, arguably verse of the year.
And you see how we're making moves. You're gonna see how we're making moves to exemplify what we heard and the thoughts that were expressed. Because, like, we're all about changing things for the better. We're gonna share that with you. You wanna see that?
I'm gonna put you on the spot because everybody's gonna know. Well, what did she think? Right? What's going on? What she think about the bird? What she think about the? What do you think about what we're either the verse or what we're taking from the verse? Either or, you can attack it whichever way you want.
I'll be honest, I actually didn't really grow up listening to Jay-Z, and I haven't really listened to what
And-
he's doing now.
And I think that speaks to a large percentage of our audience because everybody didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like we are, me and Jay, I'm a Jay-Z stan. I know he's a fan, and Jeremy seems like he's there with Jay-Z. But somebody that's not, which is probably 30-40% of the demographic. What are your thoughts? Well, did you hear the verse and did you take anything from it, or it just wasn't on your radar at all?
It just honestly wasn't on my radar.
Is that typically how you feel about Jay-Z? Is Jay-Z just not on the radar?
It's more of I just never really grew up listening to him. I always scattered myself listening to other stuff, so I actually have not had the chance to listen to him, but I am going to listen to him after this podcast. I need to catch up,
Okay.
experience more.
Well, let me ask you another
fan has
question.
been born.
Well, let me
We
ask
did
you,
our job.
let me ask you another question because it's interesting, and this is what Lou hit me with. I'm a recent fan of Jay-Z's, meaning that I've been listening to Jay-Z for like maybe the last 5-6 years, but it's real easy to catch up on somebody's career. You know what I'm saying? What inspires you the way Jay-Z inspired us, and is that something that you can find in music?
Inspiration?
Inspiration that literally, like,
Galvanizes you into action.
yeah.
Like Jay-Z spit a verse and it made me go do some different shit tomorrow.
Honestly, I think that's what I really like about Jay-Z, or any singer who has enough power to motivate people to move toward the right way in their life. But honestly, I actually do appreciate a lot of the rappers nowadays who are coming out, who are against gun violence, and who are standing up and saying, these kids today need something different to listen to. They need something more to better themselves. We shouldn't be putting people down. We should be rising people up, not putting them underground.
Are there any younger artists that are doing that you gravitate towards, or do you seek that? Do you get that from political figures or from actors or from? Are there any rappers that give you that?
One of the rappers, I just know them from Love and Hip Hop. I don't remember the names, but one of them was talking about it, and that's how I found out about it. And he threw an event here in Atlanta, saying we need to stop the violence after his son got shot somewhere, I think in Midtown.
Okay. Cool to yo.
Yeah.
That's your cool.
Yep.
That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you. Yeah, that's real. I mean, I don't know.
Going
Music
from-
is different for us. You know?
Definitely, and I'm about to explain why.
Yes.
Going from a rapper who son was shot and Nicole was telling us about that spoke out about it to a rapper who probably doesn't care if his son gets shot. And I'm talking about 50 Cent and our
Good segue.
just went
Segue.
viral
Segway.
section of the show. 50's son took a picture with Kenneth Supreme McGriff's son, and 50 and Supreme are sworn enemies. Like not rap enemies, like shooting at each other, trying to kill each other, enemies. And I don't think I'm snitching because I think people know that. So their sons took a picture together, basically saying we're standing in solidarity, which on one hand is beautiful. Like the fathers try to kill each other, but the sons are gonna be united. But on the other hand, that nigga tried to kill me. You don't go take pictures with his son. This is somebody who tried to kill me. And 50 made the comment like, either one of these two little niggas got hit by a bus, it wouldn't really affect my day.
But you know, you said rapper, and I just thought of one. One rappers I actually do admire would be Logic. Ever since he came with that hotline, or not really hotline, but it was the call for people who have depression and who are thinking about suicidal thoughts. I think honestly he's probably one of the good ones right now.
You would pick the one rapper I can't fucking stand.
Well,
I love the song and I love his message. We're from the same area, and his white privilege got him to a level that my career, that my black privilege didn't allow me. So I feel way about
Logic.
it.
I was like, oh.
But the song is amazing.
But the awareness, it has gained a lot of awareness.
The song is amazing. Him doing the song is commendable. I don't have anything negative to say about that. He's just a rapper I don't fuck with. But what he did was exemplary. It deserves to be credited, and he deserves. When you do things like that within the heart, you don't need praise. But he still deserves praise for that because he did. So I'm with you. I just don't like him, and not like for a quality reason. Only because he white, he got on, and I couldn't. It's a very basic hater thing with me, with him and Logic. With me and Logic, there's no substantive thing with me.
When Logic gets on this show, I'm gonna be sitting here in your spot interviewing him.
Right, because I'm not gonna do it. It's gonna have to be you, because I ain't gonna do it. White, black, they don't know what he is. He got a cousin named Keisha, so he think he black. Motherfucking Logic.
I respect your candor, but going back to 50 and that whole situation,
I got you.
what jumped out at me was, the history behind it. This wasn't just one single picture, and you broke that down when we were kind of prepping for the show off the air. And, the history is kind of fucked up. And what we're seeing is what can happen when, there's too much bullshit going on with the mom and the dad in the child's life. Basically, his mom turned him against his father, the way you broke it down to me, and I think, for a lot of our viewers, I don't think I'm relating something that they don't already know.
Or maybe haven't, experienced. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But this is this impact, and this isn't the first picture. So that kind of.
He's been taking pictures with all of 50's enemies.
Right.
And what we would deduce from that is that he's trying to antagonize 50. And 50's like, fuck you, you're not my son. And they're like, oh my God, like he said that. And he's like, you riding with my enemies. They're using you as a pawn to get to me, and you're letting them. As fathers, how do you, like, if your son, the mother turned them against you, and they decided to ride with your enemies and to pose with your enemies and hang with your enemies, like not your enemies as people you don't get along with. Your enemies as in people who've tried to kill you. Your enemies as in people you've tried to kill. Is that? I guess that's what I want to know. Can you turn your back on your son at that point, or what is the father's getting into 50's mind? What's the father feel? Like, you're my son, you're 18, 19 years old, and you are posing with my enemies, hanging with my enemies. People tried to kill me. As a father, is it your son can do no wrong ever, and you're a little disappointed, but it's my son? Or is there ever a point when you go, yeah, fuck you, dog. Too much is too much. I'm asking y'all too.
I appreciate that question. It's a difficult question because, part of that dichotomy for me personally is operating both as a father and as a son, because my father still lives. You know what I'm saying? this whole situation for me is totally outside the pocket. Totally. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Totally outside the pocket. You know, I've tried to be a good father to my children. Their mother has done some interesting shit, but never, never anywhere close to what 50's baby mama did with his son. Never anywhere close. My father is a phenomenal father. James A, shout out if you ever check the YouTube broadcast. And my I don't understand this. So I don't understand how it could get so horrible. That being said, I know for a fact there is a point where you have to recognize that your children are their own human beings. And part of who they are is their responsibility, but also a big part of who they are is who they are. And there needs to be almost a human level of separation that happens. Because eventually your son has to be a man. Eventually your daughter has to be a woman. And you gotta treat them, like you treat a man or a woman. And real nigga shit, how would you treat any other man who did this type of shit? It's a dichotomy because you do it for two reasons. One, he's a human being fucking up your life, and two, he's gotta know that this is the way real niggas deal with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So there's that dichotomy there. I know that was a long-winded answer, you two, but it's a lot there to kind of work through. And I think there's a lot there for 50 to work through right now, which is, why it kind of took him a while to get to this point. You know what I'm saying?
Jeremy?
It's a fine line. I mean, between being a father and then letting your own child grow its wings, like perfectly as you said. Sometimes you gotta just let him be a human being. But I got my life also. Now I can't say much because that's a whole different situation that I have not gone through. I hope never. But it's a fine line. I don't really have the answer for it. You really want to continue to be a father, but my child's now an adult. Gotta handle your own situations. I'm more with 50 on this move, I guess.
Okay.
Well, no. Excuse me, omit that. I'm against it. I wouldn't. That's my answer right now, which I hope I never come into that situation. I wouldn't have done what 50 I did.
Okay.
Because like you said, trying to kill somebody, and this is my blood.
Yeah.
I mean,
but he's hanging with the people that tried to kill you.
yeah.
So, Nicole, as putting you in a position as a mother, how do you internalize this? Or as seeing your son do that to your husband or whatever, like getting to that role, how would you feel?
Actually, what I was thinking about the entire time we were talking about this, because unfortunately I don't have the best relationship with my parents, and they're very, very strict on me. I'm very sheltered. It was very hard for me trying to do what I need to do and try to grow up as a woman and try to live my life as a young woman. But anyway, in my shoes, if I was the mother to that child that he's hanging with the wrong crew, but he wants to kill my husband, or his friends want to kill my husband, I would sit down and talk to my child. I raised you to do the right thing, and I know I did all I can to raise you the right way, but you should know what to do and what not to do. But if you do this, I can't do nothing because you're an adult. You make your choices, and you put your action into them. But my thing is, if you're hanging with those type of people and you hear something, even if it's just as a joke, or if it's the legit deal, and they have an actual day where they're gonna go and go kill your father. I want you to text him and call him 1,000 times or more to let him know that he needs to go or he needs to come home. I don't care. Because it's my husband. That's my man. That's your father. It's the right thing to do. Blood is thicker than water. Even though DNA doesn't always make a family, it should matter because it's your father. And I should raise you right, and I did raise you right, so you should better know what to do in this situation.
That's interesting because there is a baby mother in this situation.
I want to comment on what she said as well.
And,
Continue.
It's just deep. Now, in that situation, they've broken up and done wrong together, and the mother hates the father. Does that change anything for you if you were in a situation where you broke
That's
up
exactly
and
what
now
I'm
you
about to
hate
know.
your ex, and you strongly dislike him? Like, it's just, I wonder if there's ever a point where the mother goes, fuck your father, but whoa, we can't do that. Like, it's codes and morals and ethics. Like, you can be mad at him, I can be mad at him, we can bash him, but you can't just go take pictures and hang with the nigga that tried to kill him. Does that change anything for you?
I wouldn't want anything against the father of my child. Like, if I was on bad terms with him and we didn't work out, it still don't matter. It's a life. We should not be able to say, hey, yes, go kill him again. Like, right now, let's go. Even though we're hanging together, I'll still do it with you. If you just know, you need to tell them. It doesn't matter what they did to you, a life for a life. And no one needs to lose a life more than we should already.
I agree, Jimmy.
It's interesting because you brought up a lot of good points that I really, really respect. And the first one was, kind of the criticality of the parent-child relationship and the impact that you have on a child's life. You made a lot of assumptions based on your own character and what you would do, and I respect that. The difficulty is that we're not entirely confident in this situation that all of the steps that you had proceeding to that point have actually occurred. Proper raising of the child, proper understanding of the child's the father's importance in the child's life, proper understanding of who the father is, because you are making the presupposition that at the end of the day, this is your father, this is an important man in your life, this is a role model, right? The problem is that we can't make those assumptions about 50's baby mama, and that's what I struggle with, because actions speak louder than words, period, point blank. And at the end of the day, the goal of the mama needs to be to raise the child. So if the daddy is fucking up, and I know a lot of daddies out there who be fucking up, like, if he's fucking up the kid's life, then maybe he should be in the kid's life. Real nigga shit. But my understanding of 50's situation is that 50 wasn't fucking up. So the first mistake was already made before we got to this point. And 50 kind of acknowledged that in some of the articles that I read about this, and some of the things that he said. He was like, I probably could have been a better father to this dude through the years. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there's all of this shit going on. I hate to do this, but I think I'm putting more of this on the mom. And your comments actually brought this out of me, because you made a lot of assumptions that I don't think she has made in her life, that she should have made.
Mine was more just in general, like, scenario. I probably should have pointed that out first for that situation, because I don't know a lot about it. I never really followed 50 Cent's career or anything like that, but I meant in any day situation, like, that's what I mostly meant. But I don't really know that story, but I just meant in a general situation.
Well, and I respect that, and I like your generalizations, is what I'm saying, because those are the generalizations that all mothers, all fathers should make, is what I'm saying, and those lead you to a place that I don't think they're at right now.
I'll end it with, of course, positive energy and prayers to all involved. I want their healing, but as a nigga who doesn't even talk to his own father, I hope that they get to a point where they can't communicate.
And that's why I live with what I live, where actions speak louder than words.
But he's doing, 50's son is doing something. Depending on how you view it. In a capsule, like in this one instance, where he's hanging with that one person's child, you could go, maybe they're trying to break the chain of violence. But he's done it so many times with every enemy that 50 had damn near, that it's kind of like, all right, man, what are you doing? Like, come on now. And I want 50 to be the wiser, and I want him to act like he's 40-something. And I want him to find a way to forgive and to grab his son and be like, look, what we got. And I hope they get it together. I don't know if they will, but I know if they do, it has to be 50. It ain't gonna be the son. The son is lashing out. It ain't gonna be him that fixes it. If it gets fixed, it's gonna have to be 50 that fixes it. And I hope that 50 has the wisdom and the patience and whatever is needed, because as a person who's been without a father my entire 42 years of life, I know it would have been cool to have one. And it would be cool to have one today. Starting, like if we started today and just until next 20 years till he dies or whatever, that would still be cool.
That's real.
It wouldn't be what I needed, but it would be cool.
I like that answer.
So I hope that 50 can be the man that my father ain't been and fix the shit with your son. Don't wait to be 42 and don't wait to be 50. Find the fucking way. And I know that is a charge I'm putting on somebody who may have tried every single way. And then 50's tried every single way. Make up a new one. Find a way. That's your child.
Yeah.
Just try. Am I being unrealistic?
No,
this
you're
is what
not.
they need to hear.
Okay.
No, you're not. And you make me want to tell my story because, like, it's a tumultuous one. I am extremely blessed because of the parentage that I had, but it did not come easy. I grew up as a child of 2 divorcees, so I grew up with 4 step siblings. 4 children who basically had to make a decision about whether they liked me or hated me, because I was literally the physical representation of their parents' infidelity. That's literally what happened in my life, so the whole good father, bad father thing is different for me because I saw what my parents did to keep all of their children in their lives and try and make it work. I feel like, I'm blessed to a point where I don't even, sometimes I have difficulty expressing it because I know it's not fair, because I know how other people grew up, you know what I'm saying? But all I can do is share my experiences to give people inspiration and hope and show them that they can change that pattern. You know what I'm saying? You can be a better parent than your parents were, because my parents were better parents than their parents were. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can do. And I think it's real important because my gut is that 50 tried to do that, but that gives you an indication of how difficult it is. And that's the message for me.
I hear that. And we can talk about this forever.
Yeah.
We gotta move on.
Mm-hmm.
The what the fuck story of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Former Chiefs running back Kareem Hunt was caught on videotape.
You fucked my whole fantasy team up!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punching, pushing, and kicking a
You
woman.
motherfucker!
We saw this with Ray Rice. We've seen this with a few other athletes, but we have video evidence, like the Ray Rice thing that made it so striking,
Yeah.
where we saw the part that hit me the hardest, I would speak to, is the woman was on the ground and Kareem Hunt kicked her. I don't know what they were arguing about, and I have a temper. Like, I have a world-renowned temper. I am not the most logical person when I'm angry, but kicking a woman, kicking a person while they're on the ground.
You're trying to do real serious
Yeah,
physical
that's a lot.
harm.
That's a lot.
That's like, you don't care if they go to the hospital. You don't care what like happens at that point.
And
I've been kicked before.
I've been stomped up. I've been stomped to the ground.
like
I
it's
was laying on the ground and I've been stomped until I was unconscious. Yeah.
I didn't think anyone beat you up.
But no, it was like 8 of them.
Oh.
To be clear.
So you got jumped.
To be clear,
Oh.
I got jumped outside of a Beats nightclub in Washington D.C. in 2008. Yeah, niggas stomped my fucking face into the ground. Yeah, not all of them. Thank God. Thank God.
This is a running back though, so that kick is.
Yeah, this is a world class athlete.
That's some serious damage.
Yeah, and
Like no talk.
actually, Jeremy, you don't want to tell me about this interview today. He did an interview on ESPN,
Yes,
and
exclusive.
it did not explain it, and he shied away from a lot of it. One, we got to get to a point, and we should be to the point. Matter of fact, no longer get to a point. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna frame it the way it should be. We are at a point. Too bad we weren't there before. Shame on all of us men. We're here now. You can't put your fucking hands on a woman like that.
absolutely not.
You
Absolutely
can't punch her,
not.
you can't kick her,
Absolutely
you can't
not.
push her, and you
Absolutely
sure as
not.
fuck can't kick her when she's on the ground.
Absolutely
That's
not.
just where we are.
Yes.
We're not
Absolutely
going to
not.
discuss it. We're not going to equivocate
There
it.
it is.
We're not going to have a meeting about it.
Absolutely.
You can't do
There
it.
is no justification for his behavior at all. Absolutely.
But even saying that, his behavior is still deplorable. It is still extra. We've already established the guidelines of what you can't do.
This is
He went
more
beyond
than-
those guidelines.
This was worse than that.
And
yes.
he deserves punishment. I don't know what the punishment is. Do you think it was livelihood for the rest of his life? Like, goddamn, if you judge me on a mistake I made when I was 22, my life, like I'm 42 now, I would have had 20 years of fuckery and probably another, God willing, another 40 years of more fuckery. So I don't know that, at 22 or 23, you in my life forever.
I'm glad you said that shit though. Newell.
However,
So go ahead, finish that.
we'll finish that point that I'm told right to you, Jay.
Yeah.
However, action needs to be taken, and action was taken by the Kansas City Chiefs once the video was released.
Quickly.
Yeah, quickly,
While they're watching the
swiftly.
video.
Yeah, and I don't know, like the Me Too movement has sprouted, and it is putting a lot of people in check, and we should have been behaving better before this, but we weren't, for whatever, out of our own ignorance. And now that the Me Too movement is here, if you give a fuck, you're checking yourself and you're reevaluating and you're making sure you don't make the same mistakes that you made in the past or the same mistakes that our forefathers made in the past with our fucking utter disrespect for fucking women. It's like crazy. Okay, we did it. We didn't know we were that bad. Now we know. I know how bad I was based on what the Me Too movement has taught me. I know how fucked up I was. And I don't want to be that way anymore. And I don't see how every man hasn't had that epiphany where it's like, I'm not talking about beating people up and shit. I'm talking about just maybe how you talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Just as simple as that. How you communicate. Like, I realized how fucking bad I was and I'm making changes. And this shit happened February of this year. So I don't know that I can give Kareem Hunt credit for making changes when he did this year. I believe that he will attempt to make a change because nobody will lose their job, their career, especially when it's such a high-profile thing. Like I don't want to lose my job, and I'm not making millions of dollars, but I don't want to lose it. And he's making millions, and he has a chance to be a cultural icon, and he's lost it based on him not being able to control his temper and how he's acted, his level of disrespect for women. And that's really what it boils down to, because you don't act that way if you respect women.
Well, I'm glad you said all of that because that feeds directly into my comments. And Let me ask America, the world, a simple question. What do you think will happen at your job if they found out that you were basically committing a felony? Man, let's back off. Not a felony, a misdemeanor.
No, I don't want you to say that. If they found out you kicked a woman while she was on the ground, fuck the charges. Let's just get to the nitty gritty. They found out you kicked a woman while she was on the ground. What the fuck would your job do?
I'm making this more egregious because I'm talking about it, specifically his career and specifically what.
I mean, technically, I think you're not making it as egregious enough. You're saying just a felony or just a misdemeanor.
No,
I want it to be what he did.
It's what he did is terrible. What I'm saying is, I'm okay with him losing his NFL career forever because of what he did. Because what happens when you do this type of shit in the workplace, even lesser shit than this.
You're done.
And this is why I have trouble with the NFL. Because when you do this type of shit, your career in that industry is over, nigga. Like, it's over. If you get caught doing some bullshit like this,
say what it is.
If you get caught beating a woman on video, if you get caught committing an absolute horrible felony, a hate crime on video, your career is over in any other industry where you work. Life insurance, finance, IT, fucking anywhere. He deserves to lose his career in the NFL. Ray Rice lost his career in the NFL. He had to find another way to pay his rent, to pay his house note, because the NFL was fucking over. That's what the fuck it should be when you do some shit like this. That's what I'm saying. Because the standards are so much higher everywhere else than at the NFL.
I want to jump in, but I can't right now. I want to hold off. Nicole, I want to get your thoughts. So, are you familiar with the situation?
As far as I'm hearing, just a man kicking a girl on the ground.
Yeah, so he had a kickback. I don't call it that because I won't give our show that negative connotation. He had a get together with some of his friends, and they brought some extra girls, and him and one of the girls got into some arguments. They proceeded the whole night, and they ended with him pushing her. He pushed her. She tried to hit him back. What she did, she successfully punched him back, and everybody separated them. And then he came back out, pushed somebody into her, and knocked her to the ground. And while she was on the ground, walked up to her and kicked her, like stomped her. While she was on the ground, then other people grabbed him and pulled him away. So we don't know what he would have done if nobody grabbed him, but we know what we saw. And the NFL guy, when the video was released by TMZ, shout out to TMZ because they're exposing a lot of y'all fuck niggas and all the bullshit y'all do. So they presented the video, we saw it, and immediately his team, the Kansas City Chiefs, cut him. You don't work for us no more, get the fuck on. And the general consensus is that every NFL team will shun him and he will not have a job in the NFL again. And we're speaking to all of that. So.
See, I was thinking about that when we were talking about it. The fact, I was thinking about it in my mind, I was like, did she put her hands on him too as well?
She got a punch in after he pushed her, and after he attacked her, she defended herself with a punch. Now, if she had punched him first, I still would put him in the wrong, but I would be a little more understanding. He attacked her physically first, from what the video shows. Now, we don't know what happened an hour ago, but what we are able to see, he attacked her physically, she responded physically, and he took it to the next level.
See, I don't like to condone violence at all. No man has any right whatsoever to put your hands on a female. But same thing for females. I would never put my hands on my man to deck him in the face or anything like that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. So honestly, he should have been more man enough to walk away. He should know that obviously if you're going to be in a situation with a woman and you're provoking her and she's provoking you back, you're at a club, so you're probably drinking anyway, so anything could make you set off quickly. And then you put your hands on her and then she puts your hands on you, that's when you should have walked. there's a limit, especially if you're an icon, you're a player, and you're representing your team and your state. You should be professional enough and think in my mind, I know there are a lot of people around. Everyone got an iPhone or a smartphone that this can get posted somewhere. And obviously, since I'm famous, my whole team, my whole career, everyone who's watching me is gonna know about this. So you should have been man enough to walk away. And should have thought in your mind at that moment, do I wanna lose my career and the money that I'm making and what I could change? Or am I just gonna be stupid and drunk and try to fight a female? That's it.
Jeremy?
Completely against it. It's too far. I mean, you saw the size of women. You saw the size of he is. He's small, but he's one big motherfucker.
Yeah, he's bigger than all of us.
He should have came to like a realization, like what she said, because you look at someone and even if they're arguing with you, especially if it's a woman, you need to like realize like, yo, I need to like calm the fuck down. Like I can like really mess you up. And this is no good, regardless of whoever's in the right or wrong. You just need to realize the lines with it. It's not like he had a chance too, because, well, not a chance. About the whole situation in the video, because I think he talked to Kansas about the situation, but they even said that he really didn't give us anything, like how we did in the interview.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah.
It was clearly said that this shit seemed kind of dry. Didn't real kind of feel a lot of remorse from it. I think he just doesn't like grasp the whole situation. Like how old is he?
23, 24?
He's like really young, and it's way too far.
And speaking of that, he's that young. Do we give, like, is his life over forever? Or do we give him the opportunity to evolve and to grow? Because, you know, like Malcolm X at 23, 24 was a pimp and a gangster. You know, Tupac at 23, 24. Shit, JB at 23, 24 had killed 18 people. And we forgive him for the shit because he's 89 now. And then he's a different person. So, like, do we allow people
it's different
to
because with
grow?
this this is something that you should know like since like day one. I'm not putting your hands on a woman
But see,
regardless of anything else.
That's another thing. He's a football player. In football, they teach you failure and punishment, like getting benched. And honestly, because that's what football is, it teaches you life lessons. So honestly, I really would wonder why he didn't have enough self-restraint to say, I can't do this, it's not right now, I need to walk. But obviously, like I said, he's probably been drinking.
I'm assuming alcohol, drugs,
But
or something was
here's another
wrong. I'm
thing. You
assuming.
have all your other players there. Why couldn't your players? I'm pretty sure all of the players could have picked him up. And
Oh, they did grab him, but it was after the kick. They did step in. His friends, and that's one thing I'll say. His friends did some work as far as stopping him. And they prevented it from being a lot worse. So, and I want to shout out friends that do that. Friends that step in like, no nigga, you not gonna go. You know, you drunk, or you high, or you something.
Life-changing events.
Yeah, we're not gonna let you go, but so far we're gonna step in, and I respect that. So they did stop him, but it was, like I said, it was too late. So it's kind of like,
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but, you know, and this is the problem. The NFL hasn't traditionally kept people like this accountable.
It's interesting
They
because
should-
their wide
they
receiver
should have.
Tyreek Hill, he was like charged with domestic violence too, hitting this girl,
Well,
she was
okay.
pregnant.
and she was pregnant.
Well, I hate to.
so it depends on. It's fucked up because it starts being about if we have video, we hold you
That's what
accountable.
I was about to say.
So if the fans are reach a certain level of outrage, we hold you accountable. But if they don't, then we don't. And I'm gonna shift gears just a little bit, and I'm gonna go into the Redskins right now.
Yeah,
because it was
great
right here.
transition. Good transition.
And they signed Ruben Patterson, who was accused of domestic violence. The woman that accused him has also had some false accusations she's made. So We don't know that it's true. We have to wait and find out because she's lied before, or she said she lied. Who knows? It could have been the truth every time. But then she recanted her story, so we don't know why she recanted. But she's accused him again. And he was released by the San Francisco 49ers, and a day later, the Redskins signed him. I was very upset I'm a Cowboy fan, so I hate the Redskins anyway. I hate them for what they've done with black people and how they were the last team to let a black person play for them, and how they did Doug Williams. But they are still the first team that had a black quarterback win the Super Bowl. So all the fuck shit they did, they still are the first team. My relationship with them was strictly also being a Cowboy fan and being from DC. But they signed Ruben Patterson very quickly, and they made a lot of fumbles with the conversation about why they signed, saying, well, he was accused of domestic violence and small potatoes compared to other people. Like, there's no good domestic violence.
No.
There's no acceptable amount of domestic violence.
No.
It's domestic violence.
And
it's all.
And the important comment there is Doug Williams is actually the one who made that comment. Is small potatoes compared to other shit.
Yeah.
Let me say this about the Redskins as a Redskin fan.
That's why I was looking at you when he said, I was like, oh dear God.
Yeah, the Redskins have consistently and progressively fallen out of my favor.
They should.
Their moral turpitude is the epitome of a lot of the problems that have been endemic in the NFL. The NFL started out as a bunch of brutal, angry white men, and it grew into white men who wanted to rule the world and didn't give a fuck. And this was a way to make money. And that's the way a lot of them have moved. In particular, in Washington, D.C., with the Washington Redskins. They've done a lot of fuck shit over the years that I don't like. I'm not surprised by this behavior because Dan Snyder was in with the Cook family, who used to own the Redskins, and then he bought the Redskins. So these morality issues have been around for a while. This shit is bad though. It's bad right now. A, because it's just bad. like let's not put it any other different way. B, because it's fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. You have Colin Kaepernick, who you can sign, who, when he left the NFL, was doing an incredible job as an NFL quarterback. We know he has a proven track record. So if you're going to make a desperation move, if you're going to make a, quote, controversial move,
that would be it.
Why not make a move that fucking makes sense instead of going with a quarterback who,
because your quarterback gets hurt and you're stuck with a backup who hasn't proven anything, and you're first place in the division, and you can sign a quality quarterback to carry you forward.
Right.
Give you a legit
First thing you do is sign Mark Sanchez, Mr. Butt Fumble. First thing your dumb ass does, rather than signing Colin Kaepernick. And then...
And Jeremy grew up with Mark Sanchez, so you can tell us firsthand he not better than Colin Kaepernick, right?
Not fine.
See?
Not fine.
See?
Exactly.
So, yeah. I mean, the Washington football team, I wouldn't even call them the Redskins because it's disrespectful to Native Americans. The Washington football team has a lot of explaining to do. And I take pleasure in shitting on them. And I take pleasure in their fuck-ups and being able to discuss them in public forums because fuck them. You feel me?
I want them fans to hate me right now.
All right, so Kareem Hunt is out of the NFL. We don't know if he's coming back.
Also, he had a chance to come clean once too.
And he didn't.
He lied.
So we will see how this plays out. But the Chiefs cutting him was swift.
Yeah.
What I wonder is, will the Redskins sign him now?
He has 4 days.
Like, will they sign Ruben Patterson? Will they jump out there and sign him too? And the team that does sign him, what does he have to prove in order to be willing? Because I don't know if that means it has to be the end of his life. Like, he fucked up at 23, 24. does that mean his life is over and he never gets an opportunity to do anything else?
Yeah.
I don't know that that's the answer.
But the punishment was right.
Yes, I do.
So
exactly.
now it's his
I
job
do
to
believe the punishment is right.
do
I'm
what
glad
he
you
needs
said
to do.
that, Jeremy. Maybe there's a way back to the NFL, but I'm okay with there not being. But the fact remains that he's 23 years old.
Or 24, whatever it is.
23,
Well,
24.
Nicole, as a lone woman on a panel with the Sharks, is there a way that he can get back to the NFL that is acceptable to you, or does his life have to be over? Like, is that it? Like, because as a man, I'm not a woman, of course. I view it a little differently, and I want to find some redemptive thing there somewhere. But is that a situation where, like, no, nigga, there is no redemption. That is your fucking life. And I want to know what you think.
To be like signing back to the NFL? Or
Yeah, like does he? Should he ever? Let's call him 24. Let's make it a little older. Let's call him 25. He made this mistake at 25. Is his NFL career over forever, or is there something he can do redemptive that in a year or two that he can come back and presume that career?
I see it in two ways. I feel like the damage is already done. You already embarrassed your team and your coach and your entire state that you're playing for.
And your
And
gender.
I'm pretty sure you already lost sponsors by doing what you did.
Mhm.
So that damage is already done. If they did want to make themselves work to come back to the NFL, it would probably be a long, long time. Like, they probably have to do therapy. You have to go through more training than anybody else if you want to earn your place back on this team. But if I was a coach, I was like, if you're going to do this, you're going to work for it. Because just because you're an NFL player and you're a star and everything, it don't mean nothing. You're still a player. You're on my team. If you want the respect earned back for you to be responsible enough to play on this team, then you're gonna work for it. I'm not gonna give it to you just because you're entitled.
But you believe he can earn it back?
He can.
At some
But
point?
if I was the coach, I'd be like, nope. You should be held accountable for your actions, and you're gonna sit out for a while. You can probably try another year, like everyone else who's trying to play and get on this team. But in that, at this
Restart
moment,
today.
you're out. You're out.
Start today.
Like, you need to go.
I agree with you. You guys agree with her?
Yeah, again.
Okay, okay. Well, let's move on. Kareem
yeah,
Hunt,
yeah.
he got work to do. And moving on, we'll go to our Andre Ingram Grind and Shine Award, which goes to the, I believe I'm saying this correctly, the Sentinelese people, who are indigenous people who have not been colonized, so they basically roam their region naked and they live as Aborigines. And there was a missionary, a Christian missionary, who decided he wanted to go to their, I guess I'll call it an island, and convert them and work with them. And they killed him upon arrival. They killed him for a myriad of reasons. One, whenever they come in contact with outside people, they get sick, they contract flu-like symptoms, disease, because they're living totally separate. They're not on highways, not on roads. They have not been colonized. These are Aborigines, meaning that these are people who are still living like we lived in the 1600s. So they are living as a tribe, a jungle tribe. And whenever white people or other settlers come to them, they get sick and they don't have medicine. So when they get sick, they die. If I come over there with the flu and I sneeze with somebody, I can wipe out a whole village. So they are like, don't contact us, don't come near us. And it is actually illegal to go near them for those reasons. And because we're not trying to disturb them. For once, humans are letting a particular group population live their way they want to live. Because, we'll go in and change your shit, convert you to our religion, make you take our roads and highways and norms and mores. I don't feel much sympathy for the white man or for the man that went over there trying to convert them to Christianity and colonize them. He was one person, so he didn't go as an army, and he was killed. But he was warned not to go. It is illegal for him to go. He went anyway. And I gave this group of people, this group of Aborigines, the Grind and Shine Award because they've been able to live, to maintain their ancient lifestyle without outside interference. And I respect it. I like roads and highways. I like norms and moorings. I like cable TV. I like football. I like basketball. I like strip clubs. So I'm assimilated. I'm really, you shaking your head about strip club thing? I like that. So, I respect that they have not assimilated. I respect it. I applaud it. I adore it for real. Because I saw video footage of them where they're just walking around naked doing their thing. Yeah, I'm like, good for you, motherfucker. Good for you. And I give them a Grind and Shine Award for being able to maintain that and being protective of it. Because the police officers can come to our neighborhood and run rampant and kill us, and we won't do shit because they're the police. These people are like, don't come over here. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah, they're militantly
I respect
protective
it.
of it, and that. But honestly, that's what nations do. That's what America does. That's what Great Britain did. Like, not only that, we did worse. We went out and tried to colonize the world, quote unquote, to protect ourselves. They're just protecting their borders. You can't be mad about that. Those are their laws, their rules. That's what it is. Stay the fuck out. Stay the fuck out my house. Okay, it's your house. like, come on. Like, what are we talking about? You gotta respect them for that.
Keeping them up for that long too. Much
Yeah.
respect. Not a change since then. I couldn't have gone without all this shit. No.
We doing other thing.
I need to carry a goddamn bag to hike a mountain. I'm only gonna be there for 2 days. And these motherfuckers deal
That's
with
their
the amount of shit that I bring.
Facts.
Applaud.
Applaud them.
Applaud.
Nicole,
Yes.
what do you think?
Honestly, it's just how JB said it. They're protecting what's theirs. They're doing what any natural instinct would do, is to protect their land from an outsider. You don't know this person. You don't know what they're gonna do and what they're capable of. They can come and kill you, but they're already bringing diseases anyway. And him spreading diseases, they have no medicine, and all that other disease can spread to whatever wildlife is already, like their natural plantation, like all the food, everything else is gonna affect that too. So either way, it's either you protect what's yours, or they're all gonna start coming in one after another, and it's just gonna kill everything out.
Yeah.
And it won't be the same.
It's
I mean, it's like-
in our land.
It's like you said, that's
Diseases.
how it was in the very
Right.
beginning, when everyone from England during the 1800s,
Yeah.
1700s, they all
Yeah.
came here. They brought the plague with them. They brought measles. They brought all kinds of sickness. And what they do, they infected the land, and they killed many natural settlers here
Yeah,
already.
Native Americans.
And look how
those
much America
blankets.
has changed.
You
I
can't.
blame JB for most of that shit. But go ahead.
I'm not gonna get too geeky on y'all, but we're not gonna sit here and call these people primitive or stupid. Like, yes, they have closed off contact with, quote, the outside world, unquote, but they know what has happened to other people who have been settled and conquered, which is why they're saying no. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't, oh my God, these people are terrible. These people figured out what the fuck colonization means, and they understand the term colonization. Like, they're not
Colonizer.
stupid. They're not stupid. So let's applaud them for not being stupid. Period. Point blank. Wakanda forever. They are the real Black Panthers.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah. The son to them, they get the Andre Ingram Grind and Shine Award for just maintaining. Now, let me see. Let's get into a topic that's going to be very, I want to hear all of you guys' thoughts. I am a Washington Wizards fan. I'm from Washington, D.C. That is my team. We signed a player named Dwight Howard this year. Dwight has been out with a gluteal injury, which means that something is wrong with his ass. He cannot stand, he cannot sit on flights, he cannot play. His ass has been gone through some level of torment. We don't know what happened, but we know that.
It started
Aside, it started as a bat, but it was, aside from that, a story comes out that Dwight Howard is now being accused of threatening his transvestite girlfriend, well, transsexual girlfriend and boyfriend. And whether or not they're fully trans and converted or haven't, that person is saying that Dwight Howard threatened them.
Excuse me. Keep
Dwight Howard, that's what we know. And I have a billion questions. And most of them I don't want answered. But what we do know is he's had this ass injury. And then it comes out that he allegedly dates transsexuals.
How you gonna take this?
Yeah, we should ask him how he gonna take it. Maybe he should be playing the ticket right now. Jeremy, I thought to you. What the hell? What the hell?
I'm losing this reaction.
I don't know how to take this.
Did-
All right.
Come on, Junior, speak up.
This is a new thing. That's all I got to say. This is something new. An ass injury now.
Yeah, ass injury. Like really, I'll frame this in a politically correct way. Dwight Howard, whether it's a transsexual, transvestite, or just a gay man you're dating, you don't have the right to threaten them. You don't.
Wait, because of his ass injury, you can't play?
Yeah. Well, he threatened him because he threatened the
To-
transsexual threatened to expose him and let people know that he was gay. So you don't have the right to threaten anybody's life. Period. No. Now, I don't give a fuck about your lifestyle. I have worked with gay men and women for at least the last decade or so. I haven't always worked a job, but since I've been working, it's been somebody gay there. So you don't have the right to threaten them. Be who you are, accept who you are. I know it can be damaging to your brand, maybe, but I actually think it would be better for his brand because with the progressive state America is in 2018, you don't get to threaten somebody because you don't want to be out. You either live the lifestyle and accept it. You can be upset about it.
This is something that you did.
Yeah, it's something you did. You don't get to go, I'll kill you for telling people who I am. That's who you are. You need to learn to love yourself. I love myself. And I love the fact that I love pussy.
But see,
I
the thing is, gay or being homosexual was tolerated back then, and it's celebrated now. But it is probably hard for him because it's probably still kind of a, what was it in the military?
quite taboo.
No, what did they
Don't
call
ask,
it?
don't tell.
That's it. Probably still in the NFL because you're in a locker room full of men. They probably just don't feel comfortable like that. But if you know your man and who he is, that he's not going to touch you, then you should be fine. But it shouldn't give you the right to be threatening somebody, especially when they were probably once in that stage of, or probably do when they meet someone who's like, hey, I'm actually a man in a woman's body now. Because I know that probably isn't easy for them to say, but they probably have the personalities like, oh, I don't care. I can say it without worrying about it. But some people are still nervous about that, so it shouldn't be right that you should threaten to out them out when they're not ready.
Well,
I want to stop there because that's an interesting point. You don't have the right to threaten to out someone who isn't comfortable being outed. And the text message just read, like, do your parents know that you like this type of shit? Do your family know? And it was like, I'm not comfortable telling them, I'm not going to. And then it was like, but I'm going to tell everybody. So someone tells you they're not comfortable. I don't think you have the right to threaten their life. but I can understand how you could be very afraid and very cautious and very maybe have an irrational response.
I can understand that.
I can understand.
I can understand.
Yeah,
Excellent way of putting it.
I caught this story through a meme that I caught where they were talking about, Dwight Howard. He's injured, so he shows up at games in a suit right now. And I caught a meme of him, grabbing some other dude's nuts at some point in the middle of the game. And they were like, "Oh my God, this is proof of everything." And I was like, "What the fuck? What?" And
Because it looked like if he was standing up, he tried to sit down, and he like if I'm standing up and I try to sit down and I grab Nikki or whatever, but that's what it looked like.
Jeremy's
But-
hand might come over here faster.
Right. But he really grabbed the nuts. Like he really went. Like if I'm trying to sit down, like touch your shoulder, like to get my balance, or even your leg to get my balance. He intentionally or unintentionally, I don't know what he did, but he grabbed his nuts, like he went here. And I mean, you gotta kind of think, if you're in the closet, you don't want that to be seen. So that meme, I don't believe is accurate depiction of his homosexuality. Because if you're trying to hide it, you don't do that. Well, I think he just touched the wrong spot. He just was like, I'm trying to sit down. Ooh,
Yeah, just
got your dick. But he didn't move his hand quick. He said, I'm like, ooh, I'm on your dick. My bad. Didn't mean it. Did you come yet? That's how it looked.
yeah, it was bad.
So it's bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It was bad, and then I caught the story, and the conclusion I drew was like he probably got some issues going on with himself right now that he need to deal with. But my thing is, I hope he deals with them, and whatever comes out, I just want him to be honest with himself more than anything. I think that's what we all want, is for him to be honest.
I want him to play with the fucking Wizards, fix his ass injury, and get on the fucking court and help my team win. I don't give a fuck about his personal life. I don't. Gay, straight, whatever. Get the fuck on the court and get my Wizards into the goddamn playoffs.
That's actually a good point. I wish people would stop trying to pull and make a story out of something that shouldn't be focused on. Focus on what you're actually there for, the players and the game. Don't have to focus on all this other stuff about, like their personality, like what their sexual preferences, or who they've been sleeping with. It shouldn't matter about that.
This is who you are.
I don't give a shit. Can you block a shot, nigga? Can you dunk?
really.
That's what I care about.
Fix-
I'm just being honest.
Fix,
Like, I don't
fix
care.
your behind whatever's going on. Get the surgery, get into therapy.
And he's had the surgery the other day, and they're saying that he had a disc in his back, and the disc was off center, which affected his ass. So he just said he couldn't sleep well because his ass was hurting.
I don't know
He couldn't sit down on
somebody's
planes.
not or something.
Right.
Okay, so-
but what I wonder is,
It sounds like
is this
bullshit.
literally
Yes.
a back injury, or was this him getting ass fucked and fucking fucked up? I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going by their reactions to the way you're explaining it, and you're telling the absolute truth about what was said about the injury. I read it, and I told you this off the air before. It's like everything about it sounded like total bullshit for a variety of reasons. And you got motherfuckers sitting in the room right now who have had back injuries,
Yeah.
who know about dealing with repairing back injuries and what the fuck it is, and none of this, it all sounded like bullshit
Yep.
from the very beginning, so.
So Dwight, I'm gonna say maybe you shouldn't be a bottom, man. Like I need you on the court, producing for my team. That's all I care about. Your sexual lifestyle has nothing to do with me. I don't give a fuck about it. I hope you're happy, and I hope you're confident, and I hope that you are either at or get to a point where you can be open about your sexuality. Cause and I know I have an easy come by heterosexual male. and this is a heterosexual male world, especially in the United States. So me bragging about my sexuality is way different than a gay man or gay woman or bi or whatever. So I know I got it a little easy, so I'm not gonna be too smug with that because I know the world means to me because by virtue of me being a man. So I don't want to be a heterosexual man. So I don't want to be like, you should be able to say whatever. But I do think that if I was gay, I'd be like, I'm gay, fuck you. What you gonna do? Like, that's what I like. But I know everybody isn't that, and I don't want to put my level of esteem on other people. So some people are comfortable saying what they are. And I just wish you guys comfort. I wish you guys comfortability in your own skin. And I wish that the world would be willing to accept you as whatever you are, as long as you're not hurting anyone. And by hurting anyone, I mean like mentally hurting anyone. Like if Dwight Howard and that guy was fucking and he hurt Dwight and Dwight injured, I don't blame you necessarily. But my Wizards need Dwight Howard playing, so I do blame him. Because we're not going to win the championship if this nigga asshole was wrong and you can't play fucking basketball.
I don't know if this is a PG-13 show.
This
or
is
rated
X-rated. You say what we want.
Apparently, I guess he wanted more of the meat, more of the beef. That's probably what he wanted.
Oh,
So
well, pause, and that's why he's on the sidelines.
Okay.
And pause.
I mean, hey, he's living his life. Apparently, got his ass knocked out on the ground, so
Oh,
he's happy.
Jesus.
you went way too far.
Oh, well, guess what?
I'm
That's the world we
uncomfortable.
live in.
I'm uncomfortable now.
Tacos are better than salami for basketball, apparently.
Whoa!
I mean,
Wait a minute!
Okay.
We're going back to football. So white people,
I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with getting your taco or your sausage, so there ain't nothing wrong with it. Both are nice, just make sure you use some type of protection.
How's Ashanti?
Ashanti's beautiful. She was on the beach in a yellow bikini.
Man.
Whew. Man.
I don't think she were
Yeah.
bronzes.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. So next topic.
Yes.
There was a boxing match last night between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury,
You caught that.
and we watched it on PlayStation.
I didn't get a chance to see it. I heard about it. How was it?
The undercards were pretty good. The main event was a little slow for me. Deontay Wilder threw very little punches. He tried to throw haymakers. There were two moments in the fight where he caught those haymakers, and
Knocked the nigga down.
Tyson Fury was dropped.
Both
Those-
or just one time?
He
Both
jumped
times.
twice.
Dropped him twice?
Yeah, and I thought that Tyson Fury would give up, but he didn't. And I'm slick of the opinion that he fought a better fight. He was energetic, even when he got knocked down. He got up spry, like he knocked me like the punch was hard enough to knock me down, and so I fell, but it ain't hurt me that much.
You just brushed it off.
Yeah, and he got back up and was fighting, and they called it a draw. I thought Tyson Fury won the fight. I thought Deontay Wilder lost the fight. I do understand that Deontay Wilder was able to knock Tyson Fury to the mat a couple times, and you get extra points for that, but not that many extra points where it was a draw. So I think that Tyson Fury won the boxing match. I think Deontay Wilder had the most exciting moments, and I also walked away going, I don't think I'll ever buy another boxing match again.
I'm
I
glad.
paid for it, and I was glad to do it, but I'm like, I was hoping this was the new heavyweight, which everybody talked about, and it wasn't. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't engaged. The undercard was more exciting. By the time we got to the main fight, F was falling asleep. I was on Facebook complaining about the fight, and JB was with Dwight Howard. So it was a lot.
No, I wasn't. No. Time out.
Oh.
Time out on the show.
What did this
Flag on
happen?
the plane. Flag on the plane.
Okay.
Flag on the plane. Oh my God. I'm going to interrupt that nigga immediately and right now. The whole fucking broadcast was whack. The whole fucking broadcast was set up. It looked suspect. It looked like a WWE type of joint, like where everything was contrived. I felt like the knockout in the undercard that we saw
So
earlier.
it was nothing compared to the Conor fight.
No, absolutely.
Ugh.
No, absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Ugh.
Literally, when F and I walked out after the fight was over, we didn't stay for any of the other after game commentary because the motherfuckers was kissing and shit. It was weird. But anyway, we were like, this was whack. Like this was a like it was, and it was funny because when I was like, this shit is whack, New was like, well, this ain't the main, this ain't Canelo and Alvarez, this is some other shit. And I was like, okay, I dig it. But then we started seeing all the stars who were there. And it was like, well, maybe they're trying to make this what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But it just wasn't. Like, it was bad. Like, it was.
I can understand that
It
because
was all the way
fight
around.
I paid for was a Conor one, so
Mhm.
getting like the whole opposite effect of how good the fight was. Damn, that must have sucked then.
It was a bad, it was a cheesy broadcast. Am I wrong in saying that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I would agree. Some of the undercards were a little better. The game came up with one artist out.
Homeboys
J-Rock.
from DC.
Yeah, J-Rock brought an artist out. J-Rock brought out Jonathan Wilder, I believe.
And
It was
we gotta
in
talk about-
LA. It was in the Staples Center. What you want to talk about?
Oh, well, I was going to talk about what Wilder wore coming out.
Yeah, he had like a similar outfit to what Germany got on now. It just looked crazy. It was just like, what the fuck? Why are you wearing that?
Yeah, I want y'all to find. I mean, because
He came on like a feather,
like a
poncho.
feathered, like
a feathered poncho.
Like I'm
It
not
was
gonna.
weird.
It looked like a smock to me. It looked like something
Yeah,
that
smock.
women would wear in like the 1920s and shit, like with the feathers sprouting out like around his collar and shit, and like velvet and shit. And
Only
it
JB
was long.
using words like smock. I was like poncho. Smock.
So he
Gangsta
wore
Smock is a
like,
Harvard
kind of
word.
a
You gotta go to Harvard to say smock.
Gangsta geek, like it is what it is. He had a golden crown on his head
You
and
can find
a
a picture.
golden veil. Like that's what he walked out with.
I think I saw that last
It
night.
sounded like a modeling show walk, whatever.
It was weird.
To a boxing match.
And it was weird, and then he jumped in the ring and started throwing haymakers. It was.
He didn't look technically sound.
No.
It wasn't a good fight. And I haven't seen many good fights, which is why I've kind of given up on boxing. But the heavyweights intrigue me because I'm like, at least they'll knock each other the fuck out. And he did knock him down twice, but it wasn't what I would have expected. You're not technically sound. All you're doing is throwing heavy punches. I wanted to see better connection.
Literally haymakers.
They weren't- the connection rate
Heavyweights
wasn't-
aren't that good anymore. Like,
Yeah.
it's not as popular as lightweights are.
And it
nowadays.
shouldn't be. It shouldn't be based on
It
that.
flip flop now.
Yeah.
Back then it used to be heavyweights.
Yeah.
Now it's towards the lightweights and everything.
So instead of me fighting, apparently y'all rather see Jeremy fight because I'm a heavyweight.
I mean, but sometimes I always
I'm just
wonder
playing.
though, some of those fights, I feel like they're fixed. You ever think
Ah,
about that?
Yeah, based on last
Yeah.
night, I definitely think that.
We gotta talk about the jump with the DC
The-
youngin
the-
throwing
the-
the big ass punch, the
Yeah.
body shot that
I-
knocked the dude
I didn't
out.
watch the fight, but it was like Floyd versus Mayweather, and I kept seeing all the articles the next day saying it was such a ripoff, and they just, I forgot who won that.
I think it was probably the Conor McGregor fight she's talking about.
Okay, maybe it was
Yeah,
probably that one.
because Floyd and Mayweather are the same person.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right, it was
My bad.
Floyd
I
versus
don't
Mayweather.
watch
Thank you.
hip-hop, my bad.
Thank you.
Sorry, my bad.
I was thinking about that for like 2 minutes. Did I hear this right?
My bad.
You're
I was
fine.
like-
I candy. Just
I
keep talking.
I like NFL better. I do Muay Thai boxing, but I'm sorry, I don't watch professional boxing. My bad.
None
No,
of us
but
really do.
from what I
That shit is
heard
trash.
from that fight is that one of them didn't even really try, and it kind of just like it almost like he just kind of gave him like
We
That's
saw
why
it
there might be the
twice.
Pacquiao fight she
in
could be
the
talking
one.
about. Or real niggas shit, she could be talking about the McGregor fight too. The last couple fights have been that way. So you're right. The last
See,
shouldn't have been that way.
The shit felt fixed. It looked fixed. The whole thing looked.
Then UF actually said it looked. Y'all said that shit.
Yeah, and it wasn't even the main event that felt that way. It was the undercard that felt that way because the undercard knocked the dude out with a body shot, and we were like, "Oh my god, that shit is vicious," and then it wasn't that vicious. And
then looked at vicious.
Yeah, and the dude just kind of sat there for a 10 count, and then they got up and hugged each other up, and then another motherfucker for a better fight, quote unquote, jumped in the ring.
That was for the main event though.
No.
You're confusing it.
No, it happened twice.
Shit.
It happened on the welterweight jump with the dude from PG County who was not Winder, right?
Heard.
Yeah. It happened with her. Remember, he's the one who knocked the dude out with the body shot, and then the other dude jumped in the ring, and they got in each other's faces and shit. And I was like,
WWF. Well, as kids would say WWE.
Yeah.
When we were kids, it was called WWF.
You right.
For Jeremy and
it
Cole,
looked like
WWE.
some wrestling bullshit. Like it looked like some corny ass Bama shit, and I was just like, yeah, it wasn't worth the money. That's long and short.
Long and short of it, it wasn't. Will you watch the rematch?
Fuck no. Not if I gotta pay for it.
What do you think? Would you watch the rematch? They do it
I
again?
kind of agree with JB. If I'm paying to see a good fight, I better see a good fight. I don't want to watch a bitch fight.
Yeah.
That's a waste
Would
of
you
my money
watch
and my
the rematch?
time.
Based on what I just heard.
I definitely want to watch some shit because I paid for it. And I'm like, give my fucking money
But
back.
it better
I could
be a
have bought
good fight,
some
though.
weed or Bibles. Excuse me. I'm
What?
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go back to the first thing. Yeah.
Wait.
$75. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much better night.
What's better, a week? Shit, for me, that'd be a month or two. I'm a drinker. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I want to give you guys the opportunity to mention something or speak to something that meant something to you this week. If you don't have anything, that's fine too. But I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to kind of speak to some things, whatever you choose, before we close the broadcast. This is our first YouTube live. Thank you. YouTube live show. We don't know what the numbers are going to be. We don't know what's going on, but we're going to promote it, and we switched, and we're trying to monetize our thousands of views so that I can go and pay for fights without being upset. So I'll start with you, JB. Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here? Quickly.
Of course.
That nigga like a couple things. I'm like, nah, nigga, that's not what I asked you.
A couple
you're doing
things
too
jumped
much.
out at me,
Yeah, no,
and
we don't have
they're on Netflix. I know Nicole will help me out with this. Sabrina is a great show. Check that out. A lot of symbolism in there, a lot of weird shit, but the good guys are actually Satanists. So that's how I'm gonna tease that. The second one is another show on Netflix called The Last Kingdom. And the thing I love about this is it breaks down a lot of the influences that factor into Game of Thrones. So if you are a Game of Thrones fan, you will like The Last Kingdom because you will see a ton of parallels in that show. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Jeremy?
If you also like Game of Thrones and The Last Kingdom, which I haven't saw, the other good show will be Vikings. If you haven't gotten into it,
I heard of that. I've heard of
that
that.
is good. That is fantastic. I won't say much movies. The most recent movie I saw was Sorry to Bother You.
Did you like it?
Yeah,
I heard it was weird.
That movie, yes, that's a perfect word for it. That movie was weird as fuck. I didn't even need to get drunk or even smoke to like get that effect.
Sorry to bother you.
Yes.
And that's the telemarketing movie, and for y'all to know, I've been this.
There's gonna be a point in the movie where you're gonna be watching, you're gonna be kind of zoned in, And then you're gonna be like, what the fuck did I just see? These are your words that you were gonna say when you see this movie.
And I've heard that already, so I'm interested to see the movie. And I live that quote unquote lifestyle.
Be prepared.
So I'm interested. Nicole.
Unfortunately, Jeremy took the Vikings out of my mouth, so I can't say that one. But I think one other thing I've been watching lately was Haunting of Hill House. That
How
messed
is
me
that?
up. I can't sleep. I've been having nightmares, and I had to take some alcohol and shots and turn lights
I've
on.
heard that it's that scary.
It's a good show.
I can't watch scary
I love
stuff,
scary
but
shit.
I can't.
I like scary shit.
I need alcohol and all the lights on.
But you know what's crazy with me? I love scary shit, but I get super brave when a woman's watching it with me. Like I'm watching with a little boo, I'll be like, I'll protect you, baby. Don't worry about it. But if I watch it by myself, I'll be like, I'm scared.
No, but this is how scary it is. Doctors have actually tested saying it feels like you're on a roller coaster ride. Your heart's pounding so much. So it feels like that.
It's a lot.
I will watch that. I will watch it.
I'm not watching season 2. Half the cast of season 2 will not return. Because
Ow.
they messed them up so bad.
Wow. I'm gonna watch it. We'll talk about it after you seen it, JB?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So after I watch it, I will talk about it.
It is
I'm gonna start it now, and I got my vacation coming up the first week of January next year. Cause I used up all my leave doing nigga shit all year, so I ain't gonna leave till January 1st. So we'll get back to this. The only thing that I'll say is thank you for tuning in. This is going to be a challenge for our YouTube viewers, Facebook viewers, IG, Spotify, iTunes. This is a transition. The next 2 weeks we'll be transitioning and going into January. Hopefully everybody will be with us. We do a show next week and the week after, and then we break for the winter. And we'll come back January 8th. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us this platform and allowing us to speak into your life.
Without you, I would not be here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not be
Yeah.
Exactly.
Share. We're gonna be posting the YouTube link on Facebook for our Facebook fans. Thank you for those of you who will tune in after you get the link. It's the same thing you've enjoyed for years. It's
7
coming back on.
years.
Seven.
It's coming back on.
7 years is older than Jeremy and Nicole.
I don't know about that.
7? You said 7.
You said 7.
7? 7
Yeah.
was the number you used. That was very sweet.
So,
Let's start over. So
right. So thank you.
Younger than my kids.
We're gonna get out of here. We appreciate you, and we're gonna post this YouTube link 1 billion times this week, just to see how it goes. Because on Facebook we're getting 2, 3, 4,000 views, and I want to see what we can do with this YouTube link. So thank you. And if you're on Spotify or iTunes, tell somebody. Everybody tell somebody to tune in to Kickback TV. We need the views. And if you watch it, you see how beautiful I am. You also have to see how ugly JB is. But that's just life. You can't have it all perfect. So just yeah.
So mean.
No, I'm just saying facts.
I mean, hey, make a comment if you guys want me and Jeremy to stay here, make your lives better.
Oh, exactly.
Along with
Exactly.
JB.
Exactly.
This
Exactly.
evil one right here.
What? I'm an angel. You don't see my halo?
I see a devil tail sticking out.
Wow. You know what? I had to put up with this. So we're gonna say good
But
night.
it's love. It's all out of love.
We're gonna say good night, and we will see you next week. And it's a kickback. It's me and JB's kickback. So we'll invite Nicole. We'll invite Jeremy. We'll invite F. We'll invite Ashanti. There are so many people that are gonna be here in 2019. But this is the kickback. You know, drinking, we smoking, we chilling, we joking. And boom, that's it. Let me go get the camera.
Sky wanna be in it too.
Sky, come on up, Sky. Sky has made appearances,
Special guest.
special guest appearances. So Sky, like I see the family over here.
She likes the pretty people. That's
Oh, well,
That's right, Sky.
you are something else. You are something else.
Oh, thank you. At least you know it. It's okay.
Whatever.
I know it too.
Whatever. Jeremy was good.
Ghost Man will have more visits.
There it is. Nicole, what up?
Hey, just your typical Asian persuasion, gonna be here for you.
Hey, JB.
Gangsta Geek, representing Nerds Bad Attitude. We'll see y'all next Sunday.
And I'm just new. And I just do new shit. Peace. How do we get out of here on YouTube?